How's it going, everybody? Daphne's not here today, so it's just me solo. Jeff Zahler, Zahler Properties, ZPLive, episode 51. Today, we're going to talk about a kind of a cautionary tale, if you will. We always say that the market's going up and that it's increasing and rates are going up, but sometimes it doesn't really register, or it doesn't make it relevant for you. So I kind of came up with a case study, and this is actually a current client we have that had an opportunity to buy last year, decided not to, and is now realizing the situation they're in and what it's cost them. So it is a kind of cautionary tale. It is kind of real stats, real numbers, and everything like that. So wanted to just kind of talk about that today. There are still great opportunities to buy, especially as we see the market continuing to be strong. Other people are talking about a slowdown, but we're still seeing price increases. We're still seeing sales do well and inventory low. So without further ado, want to kind of set the background of what we did. So we had a client last year that I was working with. They wanted to be in Summerlin, and actually we had identified a property for them. They wrote an offer. We were very, very close on a counter offer, and they decided that they didn't want to spend that much money. They felt the market was plateaued, if you will, so they were just going to put it off for a year and rent again. So this was a property up in the 89134 area zip code of Summerlin, which is just north of Summerlin Parkway, right in the heart of Summerlin. And I'll kind of pull this off for you and kind of tell you what we saw. So the home they were looking at was in a really nice subdivision. It was a 2-story property. The property was 2,515 square feet. It was a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3-car garage home. What does that mean? Well, my clients were putting 20% down. They're going to get an $80,000 or an 80% loan, which would have made their loan value about $308,000. A year ago, rates were right around 4 1/8, so 4.125% is kind of what we had here, because I believe that's what they were. They weren't necessarily locked because they weren't in contract, but that's kind of where the rates have been floating. That would have made the payment for that property at that time $1,493 a month for principal and interest. Not bad for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house in the heart of Summerlin with a pool. It would have also cost them about $80,000 as a down payment. So again, we'd gone back and forth a little bit. We were a few $1,000s off, and they basically said, Jeff, we feel like the market's just too hot. We don't want to get carried away, so let's kind of hold off. So we held off, and we continued to stay in touch with them like we always do. And right around May of this year, they called again and said, okay, it's time for us to start looking again. We really like that neighborhood. We really like that area. Let's try to focus on Summerlin. So what have we seen? Well, we know the market's gone up, and we know interest rates have gone up. So I've got a house that I just sent them. This is a house that is actively on the market. It just came on the market recently. Same exact subdivision that they were looking in, almost the exact same square footage. And they got sticker shock, I'm not gonna lie, right? So we're kind of revamping what we're looking at, but they did get some sticker shock. So again, just going through this, 2,500 square foot home, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a pool and a 3-car garage. It closed last year, almost exactly a year ago, for $385. Would have cost them $1,493 a month for the principal and interest. Fast forward 1 year. We know market has gone up. We know interest rates have gone up. But what the number is going to show you may scare you. So what we see here, again, like I said, this is the exact same subdivision, people. Home is only 7 square feet bigger. Basically a very similar floor plan. Again, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 3-car garage. Also has a pool. Very, very similar type home. This home is listed for $459 now. Last year, a very similar home sold for $385. So we don't know what this is going to ultimately sell for, but according to the market, it's probably in that right range. So if my clients were to write an offer on this, and this is the experience what we're talking about, a 80% loan would be a $367,000 loan instead of a $308,000 loan. So it's going to be about $60,000 more that they're borrowing. They're going to have to put $12,000 down. That's more than the $80,000. So they're going to have to put over $90,000 down. And rates these days, if you're lucky, you're getting 4.875. I've been quoted, for this exercise. Basically, some of my lenders have been saying 4.875 up to 5 1/8, 5.125, which would be full 1% higher. So I just used a lower number for this exercise. 4.875 on a $367,000 loan. You're looking at a $1,942 payment. That's just principal and interest. That doesn't include taxes. That doesn't include HOA. That doesn't include home insurance. That's a $450 a month difference of what a home that they could have bought last year for in the same neighborhood is going to cost you a month. $450 a month difference. That's close to $6,000. It's about $5,500 a year difference in just the mortgage payment. On top of that, again, $12,000 more of a down payment, and essentially a loss of equity, if you will, of $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 even. It's crazy what has happened, and it's crazy what you see when the numbers jump and interest jumps. Handful of the real estate professionals we talk to and the lending professionals we talk to, we know that this number is not going to get lower anytime soon. In fact, it's going to probably get higher than lower in the future. So if you're on the fence, don't let this jump continue to happen. Just to give you an idea, and this is something else that's scary. So like I said, this is a $450 a month difference, that's why my clients are basically saying, hey, we need to relook at this now, because the house of our dreams last year is now 30% more expensive, basically, on a monthly basis. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So they're now re-looking at their stuff. Just to give you an idea, pretend for a fact, we know the market has gone up, but pretend for a fact that this number stayed the same, right? And it was still available for $385. They could still do a $308,000 loan. The only difference would be about 3/4 of an interest point. Do you know what that 3/4 of an interest point calculates to? It's about $150 a month, people. That's a big difference with everything else being the same. That $150 a month, just under $2,000 on a yearly basis over a lifetime of a mortgage. That's a $60,000 difference payment from last year to this year, just because of the mortgage rates going up. Rates are rising. It's happening, right? I was at lunch yesterday with one of our title reps. He said when he bought his house 10 years ago or whatever, or maybe longer than that, he was excited to get a 7.5% rate. That's not the market we're in now anymore, but I would say this, we'll probably be back at 7.5% before we're down below 3%, that's for sure. So if you're thinking about it, if you are on the fence about buying a home, but you're fearing about the pricing of the homes and feel like you're oversaturated, look at this, and this is literally an experience that my clients have dealt with, and they dealt with it firsthand and personally. They're now looking at a $450 a month extra payment for essentially a home that was in the same exact subdivision, just with 1 year difference of price increase and mortgage rates increase. I don't want to see that, so if you are on the fence, it is really a great time to buy. We are seeing a little bit of a softening of the market. Things are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Who knows? Maybe that sells for $440 these days. Even then, it's still going to be a dramatic difference in price for them, unfortunately. So if you have any questions, please let us know. 702-758-4699. You can go to our website, www.zahlerproperties.com, or you can send me an email directly at gsz@zahlerproperties.com. That's gsz@zahlerproperties.com. Until next week, when our marketing director's back, so I'm not running around, Jeff Zahler, Zahler Properties, ZPLive, episode 51, signing off. Take care.